screenshots, which is awkward. All right, let's jump into some Modern. This league's probably going to be long. All right, Amulet Breach. So Amulet Titan is a stock. I'm just going to call it tier 1 deck in the format. Tiers are super subjective in Magic. We don't have objective data, but this deck puts up a ton of results. It wins very consistently. So Primeval Titan alongside Amulet of Vigor puts up a ton of results in Modern in general. This build has a bit of a twist. So this is a Breach build of Amulet Titan. So this is a Fringe build of a tier 1 deck. So this deck gets to play through the Breach to sometimes put Titan into play a turn sooner, sometimes kill them with Emrakul or Worldspine Wurm. This allows the archetype to play through Blood Moon a little bit better, which is nice because you can through the Breach while they're Blood Mooning you. The other thing that this deck does, it's not just through the Breach for the Emrakul. So one of the things we often talk about, if you're going to make changes to a deck, you want to be able to solve problems that archetype has. So what Emrakul does for this archetype is one of the things that traditional Amulet Titan tends to struggle with is that Amulet Titan against other combo decks can combo without actually killing its opponent. So you like attack for 16 with a Primeval Titan, and then they get to like untap and kill you with their Storm deck. So what the Emrakul allows this deck to do is you get 2 copies of Modern staple Spinerock Knoll, which this hides away 2 cards from your deck. And if the Spinerock Knoll hits Emrakul, Spinerock Knoll casts the card that it finds, so it casts the Emrakul to take an extra turn, so you get to kill them the turn that you combo. So this build is much less popular. I don't know how much worse it strictly is for 4-color gates in the standard queue. We'll do Lumbering Falls, thanks to the biddies. So what this deck looks to do is hit Emrakul with that Spinerock Knoll so you can kill them the turn you combo, which is great. The turn you combo. Technically, you take another turn, but still, they don't get another turn to kill you after you hit them. So, Worldspine Wurm is there for a reason. So, the reason why we have a Worldspine Wurm is so that when we have Pact, Summoner's Pact, and through the Breach, and Primeval Titan's not enough, you can through the Breach the Worldspine Wurm and leave 3 5/5s behind to kill them with. So, you play 1 Worldspine Wurm over the 4th Emrakul, because playing 1 Worldspine Wurm is basically like playing 5 Worldspine Wurms. And you don't like this right off the bat here, we have a matchup where being able to kill them the turn we combo is valuable. Like, there are so many linear decks in Modern where if you give them another turn after you do your thing, even if they're dead on your next turn, you're not going to get a next turn to fight back. Thanks, Massivic. Good morning. So next turn, I'll get to go Azusa with these. The other thing, too, is, like, and this is something I didn't mention yet, like, if you've seen this deck grind against fair decks in Modern, this deck actually just gets to cast cards like Worldspine Wurm and Emrakul against blue-white control and Jund, because you just hit so many land drops that you actually just cast your giant spells. You filled the ladder with Tiber Climb. The deck's really sweet. It is a very powerful... It's the deck I played to get to... It's the deck I played to get to Mythic. So, next turn, I'll be able to Summoner's Pact for Primeval Titan. Now, I was pretty happy with the Teamer Climb list from yesterday. In fact, I updated the Blue-Green X Climb list on my website to be the Teamer list that I played. Hey, Kriko, thank you for the 4th month in a row. I appreciate that. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again. Welcome. No, I don't think these lands would be too good in Standard. I lost my sword finally. Well, now you have a wonderful shield to go with it, SCTR. Thank you for everything you've done around here. You and the other crowns. We wouldn't have jumped into this as quickly as we did without all y'all. Thanks for the 12 months. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Your quests don't actually complete when you're playing challenge matches. Direct challenges don't complete your rest. So I'm actually gonna get double Spinerock Knoll here, since these are coming into play tapped. I wonder if I was supposed to get... You know, I took this Simic growth chamber. I wonder if I was supposed to just take an amulet. It's possible I was supposed to have just taken an amulet. Alright, so we're open hitting Emrakul with the second Spinerock Knoll here. Nope, no dice. Alright, sometimes you swing and you miss, chat. Sometimes you swing and you miss. Fantastic, we'll do SCTR. Emphasize, never cut Land War Elves against the red-back opponent in round 4. So yeah, I reassessed because while I think you leave Land War Elves in against the Goblin Chain Whirler aggro decks, the Goblin Chain Whirler mid-range decks are different, I think, because the game's going to go a little bit longer there, and your ramp's less important against mid-range. So I did go back and end up cutting them even when I said you generally don't cut them. If we draw an amulet here, we might be able to kill them still next turn, because I could get Vesuva. If they don't have Angel's Grace, that's lethal. That's nice. If I could manage to tap my lands correctly. It's a shame this isn't Emrakul. If this was Emrakul, we'd win the game guaranteed because they'd lose all their lands. Yeah, like making them use Angel's Grace here isn't irrelevant, just because like Angel's Grace is one of their combo pieces, right? So this means they have to have another Angel's Grace. Yeah, so not super surprised to see this happen here. But at the same time, it's like not a big deal. Also, again, just like ramping up this turn isn't that big of a deal. Because it's like reasonable for us. Actually, let's get... Just getting... I think I'm supposed to get Simic, Growth Chamber, plus Tolaria West here. And the reason for this is... I already had a Tolaria West. I'm supposed to get double bounce land. I definitely want to get a Tolaria West in my hand here. So that way next turn I can transmute this for an Engineered Explosives to kill a copy of Phyrexian on Life if they play one out. Yeah, I agree, SCTR. I was really happy. Normally, like, I've always used an electric toothbrush because the dentists recommend them because they clean your teeth better. But, like, I always disliked how bulky they were, especially when traveling. Morning, Prince Day. Hey, Eddie, thanks. They have Angel's Grace into double Simian Spirit Guide. Or Land Spirit Guide. Yep. So I think we're dead. Yeah, Quip. And actually, I'm doing a special promo with the Quip sponsor. So the Quip sponsor, when you buy it, you'll be asked to sign in with your Twitch account. And if you do that when you purchase it, you can bump a deck that's already in the deck queue by 25 points. So a little extra upside. Alright, so Negate and Summoner's Pact come in here. I think Rex Sage is also okay. What do I want to trim? I think I actually cut the Worldspine Wurm, because this is a card, this is a matchup we're like. Pacting for this is not particularly good. I think I cut Explore. Explore is usually the filler, and then we can cut Bojuka Bog because it doesn't have text. Usually you cut 1 to 2 lands. I think 26 lands is usually like the rule of thumb. I don't think Ruric Thar... I guess Ruric Thar does mean they can't Angel's Grace, right? So that's relevant. Alright, yeah, I believe you. You can Ruric Thar... yeah, that's right. Thanks, JRH. I don't know that Broken Bond's good enough. I don't think I want that many ways to destroy artifacts and enchantments. Like, I think 1 Rex Sage... honestly, even Rex Sage might not be good enough. Just like 1 Engineered Explosive to tutor up. I think I'm just gonna leave EE in my deck. Brahminate, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Remember, I don't want to board too much because we're still a combo deck too. So like, I want to be able to race my opponent to a degree. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. It needs some more lands or Through the Breach, but I do have like. I have Disruption in this hand, right? Like, I'm going to get to go Slayers Stronghold into Amulet, into Gruul Turf, Float, Bounce. This deck with multiple Amulets and Bounce lands, you can, like, also just, like, hardcast Emrakul very quickly. This is probably a game where I return the Gruul Turf to my hand and leave it, because with Amulet plus Azusa plus this Gruul Turf basically reads make 6 mana. So, leaving this in my hand in the event that I draw a Summoner's Pact or a Primeval Titan is very good. So, my turn 2 is going to be... I'm going to end turn 2 with Slayers Stronghold, Tolaria West, untapped. Maybe? An Amulet of Vigor in play. I guess this will be tapped. So, I'm hoping to draw a land for the turn, basically. So, we play this... So I'm hoping to draw a land so I can leave Negate up starting next turn. Looking for lands, Titans, or Through the Breaches are things that I would like to pick up. Second Azusa. So you can stack these triggers. So the Amulet trigger untaps it before... it bounces, so we float mana with this, and then we return the Gruul Turf to our hand again, so we can keep it there to, use as a 6 mana ritual. Darnia, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Your Prime keeps getting randomly allocated. Your Twitch Prime should never automatically go to someone. I would definitely contact Twitch support. It might, if someone else might have if your thing's getting randomly allocated, someone else might have your Amazon account linked to their Twitch account. You can link your Amazon account to multiple Twitch accounts. I know because mine's linked to my account and my wife's account. So I would double check that like another family member or someone if you share your Amazon account with anyone isn't using your stuff. All right, so let's put this into play. Oh, do I? Yeah, change your Twitch password and your Amazon password. The Phoenix Wolf, thanks for the 14-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So do I don't have enough mana to pick up Tolaria West, and do I? No, because I only have 6, right? This is 6, 7, 8. I can, however, so I could do this. I played the wrong bounce land though, right? Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. I want to leave up Negate next turn. I guess this isn't coming in for 2 more turns. Then I'm going to go ahead and pick this back up. And I'm going to play it out again. Azusa abilities do not stack. So if you play a second Azusa, you do not get to make an extra land drop. So we transmute this for Summoner's Pact. But then I've already used all my land drops, and I only have 2 floating plus 3, so I can't actually cast Titan this turn, so we're just gonna go ahead and pass. Hey, Prof. Doctor Mister, thanks for the 5th month in a row. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Thanks, Big Daddy. Yeah, as far as the comments about the general full Twitch chat yesterday, just a reminder that for every person that enjoys how we moderate my chat here, there's probably 1 or 2 people that really don't like how I moderate my chat. They'd prefer to be able to post whatever they want wherever they want to post it. I didn't do a wrap-up segment, Darnia. I like the build. I wouldn't change any cards. In fact, I'm planning to play the same deck list card for card in the Nerd Rage tournament at the start of next month. I prefer to be the only person to have a valid opinion in chat. Well, and so, like, part of the problem, SCTR, is that, like, people get upset that we time out messages here that aren't hostile. Like, we time out messages that are just clutter, right? And there's a lot of people that prefer they'd be able to post whatever they want in a chat so long as they're not being obviously, like, racist or offensive. Through the Breach doesn't do anything here because I'm not going to be able to through the Breach till after I hit them. So that doesn't really help. Hey, thanks for the Prime support, Be Rich. I appreciate that. I am not going to be able... Mods can dole out timeouts. So one of the downsides to playing this deck that I'm playing right now is that it's very click intensive. So I am not going to be able to provide complimentary timeouts this morning while I play this. Now, I think that's being too results-oriented, Petiv. I think that card kills too many of my own creatures, and I'd rather just, like I got nut drawn games 1 and 3. Like, it's fine. I get that Fiery Candidate would have saved me, but, like, it also would have killed my board in those matches, right? Those games. And not even the ones that conflate being timed out with being banned, but, like, the number of ones that conflate being timed out as some, like, great personal wrong. Like, someone's attacked them. That's why people ask for complimentary timeouts, to make fun of them. Thanks, Kuzlu. I appreciate that. And thanks for the biddies. They're echoing truthing my Primeval Titan. Okay. So I do have to pay for Summoner's Pact next turn, but I do want to end... I want to end with Simic, Growth Chamber... Probably just double Growth Chamber, honestly. And I'm gonna keep bouncing the Spinerock Knoll until it gets an Emrakul under it. And, like, leaving a Negate up here is fine. I could have played around an Echoing Truth, I guess, by bouncing bounce lands, but... I think I wanted to I wanted to keep doing the Spinerock Knoll so I could try and find an Emrakul. It is literally little kid levels of punishment pack. No, you're not wrong. We do play Tolaria West, but I don't need to get Tolaria West here, right? Like, getting Tolaria West doesn't do anything for me. I wonder, did the green-white tokens player play against any of the red mid-range decks in the tournament? Because the green-white tokens deck seems like it would be, like, really bad. Like, it seemed good against, like, the green mid-range decks like I was playing, but it seems pretty terrible against the other things. No, we couldn't prize split in the tournament, Nivik. 1,500 bucks is still good for the day. all extra. Kibbler's not the deck I'm talking about. His deck is good against Kibbler's deck. I'm talking about the 4 Chain Whirler main deck that also had fiery candidates in the sideboard. I'm talking about the deck that had 4, yeah, like Amazonian. Thanks, Diva. Yeah, the climb deck is good. It's very similar to Grixis Shadow in Modern. Temur Battle Rage is basically, or Kadana's Climb is basically Temur Battle Rage. They missed all the Chain Whirler decks, yep. And that's how metagaming goes sometimes, right? Like, I played against a bunch of the Chain Whirler decks, and the Chain Whirler deck seemed like a good matchup for the Temur deck. So, like, sometimes that's very important in Magic. What is this madness? We're interacting with each other? We just like casting Phyrexian on life now? Oh no! Oh no! So why I've heard other people say that they cut elves on the draw a bunch. I don't understand. Elf is arguably even better on the draw because it catches you back up, chat. Like, the only place I've been cutting Land War Elves in the Temur Climb deck is against Chain Whirler mid-range. Frago, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. Welcome back. Thanks for the 5th month in a row. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me around. I would only cut Elf. I would only cut Elf against Chain Whirler mid-range. For the record, I think Unmoored Ego is a reasonable card in Modern. I know we talk about it not being great in Standard, but it is very reasonable in Modern. It makes me wish I would have gotten a Tolaria West here, so that way I could Summoner's Pact for Ruric Thar next turn. That being said, I do have 8 mana in play, 10 in my hand, so I'm not far off of just casting this Emrakul like we talked about. Jays, thanks for the tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Whoop. Dig. Adam, thanks for the 2nd month in a row. Thanks for keeping me around, folks. Everyone's having a good Thursday. Well, thanks for checking out the YouTube stuff, Lexicon. Correct, Paris. Unmoored Ego is playable in Modern because there are a ton of decks in this format that literally just can't win. Alright, so do I take the 2nd Amulet here, or do I take the Garrison? This is just guaranteed 2 more mana rates. That's probably the right call. Oh, the bounce land does guarantee Emrakul next turn, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. This is because this is a 6-mana ritual. We talked about that. Now you're thinking with portals, chat. Now you're thinking with amulets. So they're dead. They're dead next turn, and they can't combo us from this position. So we do get to win this game, which is sweet. Still dead. I have Annihilator. Yeah, Unmorty, go ahead as a text box you type into. Alright, I know I drew through the breach, but I'm going to prove a point here and cast my Emrakul. And I didn't assemble 15 mana to not hard cast my Emrakul, chat, okay? So here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about elves, and this is again, we talk about role assessment constantly on this stream. A lot of people seem to think the climb deck is... Oh, do I not have enough mana? Am I short? This is 9. No, I have one too many. Got it. So I have to click. A lot of people think... C-Unit, thanks for the 14-month resub. A lot of people think the climb deck is like Sultai mid-range, and the climb deck is not a Sultai mid-range deck. The climb deck's an aggro deck. And I get that you have Krasis and can generate some card advantage sometimes, but overall, the reason to be playing the Teamer deck over something like Sultai mid-range is because you get to keep elves in, because you get to kill people. And there's some more aggressive matchups where, like, you do assume a controlling role, but against the other mid-range and control decks in the format, you are the beatdown. Beat them down. Yeah, it's an aggro combo deck. Have you ever played with Teamer Battle Rage in Modern? Climb is literally Teamer Battle Rage. Alright. Cian's not great, but it's definitely a keep. Yep. Never mind. JK, LOL. JK, LOL, hand's fine. Thanks, Weem. I'm probably going to miss some chat messages while we play this deck just because there's a lot of clicking in here. Yeah, the double climb turns are so brutal because it's what you do 4x plus 2 damage and just like you kill people from very, very, very random board positions, it feels like. Unfortunately, I am not going to be quick enough here, most likely. If they have a turn 4 kill with this Lotus Plume, I am going to die. The craziest beep beep spam, that's awesome. So next turn they're going to have enough mana to combo, so we're hoping to draw Negate or Azusa here. Or Summoner's Pact for Azusa. That's sweet. Second Amulet also does it. So I think we could theoretically... So it's worth noting they're not dead here, right? They are gonna lose their lands, but they aren't just dead here. They do have a Lotus Bloom coming in next turn. So like we're still gonna play a game of Magic here. But it is worth noting that any Summoner's Pact or whatever does kill them. So I do this, make blue, and then if I don't die next turn, I get to go get a thing. I could actually get engineered explosives here and trade my Gemstone Mine for their Lotus Bloom. Is that nuts? I feel like I'm more likely to win from that position than they are. Like, obviously, I need to draw something now, but, like, I feel like I'm more likely to win from this position than they are. Just, like, any like, packs, creatures, like, even just drawing an Azusa kills them, like, semi-quickly. This means they need to reassemble mana. Yeah, this Amulet Titan, if you are looking for a competitive toolbox deck in Modern, this is the best one. This deck is very, very powerful and reasonable. That's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, it's likely better than New Pod. I like the New Pod deck a lot, but this deck's likely more competitive. Thanks, Yusubus. Yeah, the talking through my things while I play definitely has gotten easier with lots of streaming. We can draw Titan. Drawing the Emrakul does give us more live draws with Through the Breaches. That's nice. Azusa also lets us cast this Emrakul, which is funny. So like if we draw Azusa, each of these bounce lands are like super rituals. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So unfortunately can't do anything just yet. Yep, I'm aware, OmniZ. Probably dead. Yeah, I think I was a little bit too defensive. I don't know. It's tough to know if I'm being results based on whether or not killing the Lotus Bloom is too defensive there. It's possible I'm being results based, but it's also possible it's just like a bad decision. Thanks, Rebel. Yeah, it's really funny, Sirki. Like, at the end of the day, if, like, the worst things people have to say about me to try and smear my name across the internet is I salted off in Magic Online chat in my early 20s towards people because I was a turd, like, You know, I probably wasn't all that bad of a person. Like, I was a turd, and I shouldn't have been rude to people in Magic Online chat, but, like, come on now. Like, if that's the worst thing, you have to say about me, maybe take a step back and realize that I'm probably not that terrible of a person. I've definitely mellowed out some and corrected negative behavior that's happened. Made the other two say nice things about me. I've interacted with Hunt a lot. I haven't interacted with Cedric too much outside of just like interactions on SCG stuff, but I've talked to Matthias a lot. Matthias is a math guy. I've hung out with him a bit outside of tournaments. My favorite was someone linked me a comment that was someone telling someone else that they'll never understand why I won't be successful as a Twitch streamer. And I was just like, man, this person's world would be ruined if they ever looked at like actual metrics about Magic Twitch streamers. Thanks, Rebel. You know, it's kind of funny if I was on the draw, I would keep this hand because then I could, do I keep this hand and just play Vesuva as Vesuva on one? Is that crazy? I think I'm gonna keep this and just play Vesuva on one. And, like, a big part of the problem, like, we're talking about people who are, like, upset that they've been timed out here. I just timed someone out for saying this hand is bad with no other validation or explanation for helping me understand what it is. That upsets a lot of people. A lot of people want to be able to just say stuff like, you suck, that play was bad, this hand is bad, do this, do that. And we time out messages like that here because they're not helpful or constructive. And a lot of people just want to be able to post whatever they want anywhere, so long as they're not being blatantly offensive. And we remove messages here that aren't helpful, even if they aren't blatantly offensive. Yeah, this hand only needs a Titan, right? And now it only needs a Through the Breach. So yeah, I think this hand is okay because we're on the play. I mean, so this is the thing you have to understand about this deck, Kaysen. Like, I feel like a lot of people pigeonhole on the fact that the Amulet Titan deck has fast draws occasionally. This deck has a ton of draws that are really mopey and slow. Like, sure, sometimes you put a Titan into play on turn 3 or turn 4, but there's a lot of hands where you just don't do anything with this deck, which is one of the reasons why it doesn't dominate everything. Thanks, Frazzle. I definitely feel like I put my education background to good use here. Yeah, I played Vesuva as a do-nothing because you have to have a land to return to your hand for these bounce lands, or Kerus, as we call them. Ooh, what does this card do? Deals 1 damage when you cast a red spell untap. And this untaps when they play a thing too, right? Yeah, interesting. Gut shot. Gosh, that's rude. Thanks, Jiaofu. I appreciate that. Alright, so we are getting set up to cast Worldspine Wurm pretty quickly. They're probably playing both float in. It's definitely worse than Electrostatic Field, but based on the fact that they have this Chandra in their deck too, I bet they're playing both. Now the awkward part here is this Chandra is gonna flip over into a Planeswalker, which can then kill my Azusa, which feels a little bit bad. I think they're killing. We could cast the Worm next turn if they don't kill the Azusa, but I think the Azusa's going down. Sugar, we're going down. Down, do. Yeah, the amulets work like Wilderness Reclamation. They stack up. So every amulet makes your bounce lands make more mana. It gets really obnoxious really quickly. Manamorphose, what a tilt. So this is basically a free spell. It draws a card to replace itself, and it makes 2 mana to replace the 2 mana that it's made. So it works really well with cards like Thermo Alchemist and this Chandra that untap when you play more things. Opponent's username is on point. For those that can't see, my opponent's username is RedMTG. So just like thumbs up for being on theme. I always hate when someone's like, they're playing like their name is like Jund Guy and they're playing like Jeskai Control. In fact, I'm gonna tweet this. This is just seems like it's on flavor. I do, like many casual Magic players, I do enjoy casting Temur colored cards. Are they gonna kill me this turn? We might be dead. Like, their deck seemed just kind of cute, but we're actually dead. They just turn 4 killed us. Like, just like, Thermo Alchemist kill you on 4. Yikes. It's like mono red ping tribal. I mean, we often talk about, like, what does it take to break in as a new deck in Modern? And the answer is always, can you Goldfish a turn 3 to turn 4 kill? If yes, you might be okay. Thank goodness for Radiant Fountain. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, you could draw some data out of it, Time Lord. You're gonna hit some issues with sample sizes, but you could do some analysis of it, yep. You could see, like Sultai kind of underperformed, right? I need to look at the top 16 list, but there wasn't much Sultai in the top 8. I did see Saffron Olive tweet the Kaya against the odds deck. I did see that one. Part of me wants to trim Tribe Scout, but at the same, I'm going to trim the Engineered Explosive. I think it's too slow. Let's give... This is... Worm's probably too slow, too. Yeah, the OP's deck is really sweet. I mean, how would they ever have dealt with a Stoneforge Mystic Pokemon, nerd? It's not like they had half a dozen different ways to interact with it before it got to put a Matter Skull into play. You know, honestly, my favorite part about playing, and it's kind of sad a little bit in a way, but the fact that I play less Modern makes me less frustrated with the fact that Stoneforge Mystic and other cards like that are still banned. Because like when I was doing just modern 8 hours a day, it was just like constantly having it in my face that like it's monolinear nonsense and like things that could beat it. But like when we don't do it 8 hours a day, it's like, oh, it just happened for a couple hours in the morning, we get to move on and play standard now. And like I like some of the games in modern, but I definitely doing monolinear 8 hours a day is a tough beat. It's just not something that I would ever want to really do again. Yeah, I agree, SCTR. In fact, there's the Nerd Rage tournament in April is Legacy, and I'm pretty sure I'm registering Jeskai Stoneblade if I can find a copy of it. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it would change much if it was unbanned. It would change this stream because we would play it here. Because people would love to submit decks with it, and I'd love to play them. How do you randomly find a copy of Jeskai Stoneblade? I can usually tweet and find a copy of almost anything. It's one of the perks and bennies of being a Magic personality. Jobs are all about the perks and bennies, chat. Benny and the Jets. Oh, I cut the engineered explosives, didn't I? And I didn't board in the Rec Sage. Alright, that one's on me. That one's on me. If I had boarded to hedge correctly, we'd have killed them through bridge just the same. Thanks, Admiral. Yeah, the new Kiki Cord deck is really sweet. The new Vanafear Cord deck, whatever you want to call it. I like that deck a lot. Oh, I did side in Abrades. There's just so like the problem with siding in Abrades and like hoping to draw them there is like it's just gonna take forever. Whereas if I would have boarded in Rec Sage or Engineer Explosives, I could just tutor it up. Nah, I'll probably be able to get something without having to wear branding, Elliot. I appreciate it, though. Sure, but Portable Head, if you mulligan every hand that doesn't turn 3 or turn 4 with this deck, you're mulliganing most of your hands. This deck isn't Storm. It does not kill people consistently early very often. In fact, if you want to play a deck that kills people consistently early, you play Grishelbrand or you play Storm. You can't just mulligan hands like that in the dark, I don't think. That hand was missing one piece. I think that first hand we kept was fine. Yeah, the token deck got pretty fortunate to dodge all the Goblin Chain Whirler decks. Thanks, Gengar. Chalice of the Void, Ancient Stirrings. Oh, God. I'm just gonna find the next match. I'm just gonna play all 5. No, I'm just not playing against Chalice of the Void and Staring Bridge nonsense. It's not fun. I'm a much happier person when we concede the matches that aren't fun, so just gonna move along with our lives. No, that is the Wur prison deck. It's like Lantern adjacent. It's like Lanternless Lantern. We swapped to Standard as soon as this league is done, so we're going to play 2 more matches of Modern. We do 1 Modern League every morning. As a heads up tomorrow, though, if you are a fan of older formats, tomorrow morning is going to be all older Magic. I think we're going to do Goblin Charbelcher, Vanafear Cord, and I have to look at what the third deck is. Now, Lantern doesn't see much play in general anymore because people figured out it's not that good. It's still miserable to play against, but it's not actually that good. 4-color Loam is close to the top, but I usually don't do 2 Legacy decks, Socio Penguin. I do try to only do 1 Legacy deck a week. Climb is a silly card. What do I want? Well, I'm already putting Vanafear Cord in as CTR. So I'm just going to grab the other one towards the top. What's that like? What's at the top right now? I think it's Enduring Ideal. Enduring Ideal's fine. Two more matches of Modern. Yeah, our 27 land deck just has a 1-lander. Yeah, Matthias and Cedric are great. And they're both folks that have covered me on SCG stuff before, right? So like they know they know that I'm usually playing more strange things. Suspend Greater Gargadon. All right, ready to get Restore Balanced? Yes, Admiral, I will likely be playing to be top 1000 when that goes live. So that probably means that I'll be a little bit choosy about which decks I'm playing in ranked versus unranked when that starts. So we'll probably still play a majority of them in ranked, but some of the more experimental ones we might start in unranked and then graduate them to ranked if they seem reasonable. I didn't get a chance to go back and watch my matches yet. I was hoping they'd clip them up, but I'm not sure if they actually do that. Hey, Socio Penguin, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. How close is 4-color load to the top now? Sounds good. Why are we playing for top 1000? Go to dailymtg.com and look at the article that was posted yesterday. So I think I'm supposed to do this. And I think I want to pick Grove back up. This month is top 8 or bust. Correct. And then if I draw another bounce land in my next 2 draws, I get to Titan them next turn. This gives me a lot of looks at a bounce land. Now, I have 0 desire to stream the new KCI style deck. Sounds really tedious. Devastating Dreams. Sure. So they can Living End my Azusa or my Titan next turn. No, that's not true. This doesn't change timing restrictions. Oh, they're just gonna kill all my lands. They're gonna sack their lands to the Gargadon and cast Restore Balance. Yay! Modern! Yay! Yay! Modern! Sacrifice all lands you control. Yep. Discard down to 3 cards. Yep. I'm gonna keep the Sanctuary and hope to draw a land next turn. Well, I mean, that technically lets me get a redraw. Yeah, I agree, Bob. With just being a little bit selective of which decks I play in ranked, I think we'll be able to maintain top 1,000 by playing mostly on stream, no problem. I had kind of been thinking about doing 1 day a week of try-hard decks. Like, still have variety in the day and, like, do 4 or 5 different decks for standard, but just, like, having a day that's all decks that I like that I think are competitive. Like the Teamer Climbs and the Blue-Black Pirates and stuff like that. So, I think like try hard Tuesdays could be a real easy way to like get and stay in the top 1,000, even with memeing a little bit. No, players that qualify for paper tournaments that only play digital will have to pick up physical cards. They want to encourage players to do both. Yeah, the Tryhard Tuesdays is something I'd kind of been thinking about anyways, and the top 1,000 push is like an extra incentive to go do it, so... Yeah, the unranked queue still seemed... We'd actually played the unranked queue a couple of times since rank dropped, and the unranked queue still seemed like it had mostly reasonable decks in it. You can also qualify for paper stuff eventually, though, too, Bob, right? Like, if you go real deep, you queue through. Thanks, fangirl. Yeah, you can run Arena on OS X the same way I played on Linux, using Wine. People just don't understand, Lexicon, that paper's driving force is casual Magic. What's the ballpark of what it would cost to buy a deck? The answer is it depends on how many rares and mythics are in the deck. Like, you can build 4-color gates or mono blue for like $50 or less. The 3-color mid-range decks, you generally need to have, cost more. So like 100 to 150 for 3-color mid-ranger control decks. I love the end comment of the announcement yesterday of the formats will not be best of one. Yeah, did I read that right? You're not going to be able to play PTQs without having Planeswalker points, which I guess is great for me because I might consider playing paper PTQs, except for the fact that now they've prevented me from playing paper PTQs. So like they've saved me from myself by saying, "Hey Jeff, you can't play paper PTQs because you don't have Planeswalker points." It's 200 points every 3 months, Bob. Which means, like, you can't just play PTQs. You have to play other stuff outside of that. No, it's not yearly, it's quarterly. Hey, Chef Seth, thanks for the tip. And Bant Eldrazi, sounds good. I appreciate the tip. Yeah, but F&M every week is a big commitment for some people, Navier. What the Planeswalker point commitment does, and this is actually, I think the Planeswalker, I didn't comment on this, but I think the Planeswalker point commitment is bad, because what the Planeswalker point commitment does is it takes people like me who mostly only play digital Magic, and it says, hey, you can't play PTQs in paper. It's taking paper and digital and segregating them. What they should do is they should give people Planeswalker points for playing Arena. That's what should happen. The fact that you don't get Planeswalker points for playing Arena is stupid and wrong. They should be integrating their systems more, not pulling them apart. I should be able to link my DCI to my Arena account and then get Planeswalker points that way. All right, believe it or not, we didn't beat getting Armageddon done turn 3 with our deck full of lands. Perfect, Isha. I'll check it tonight. I don't really have great tools here. I guess Broken Bond and Tireless Tracker are fine. I guess Negate's fine too. Bojuka Bog doesn't seem particularly useful. So you shouldn't be rewarding paper-only players or arena-only players. Smart business, the business of getting people to just play infinite Magic, should be to reward people for doing everything. And it should be, hey, if you play a bunch of Magic here, you should go play more Magic over here. Your systems should always be designed to encourage people to play way more Magic. If your system discourages people from playing more Magic in any way, your system's probably bad. That's my opinion. A well-designed system should encourage people to just play as much Magic as they want to play. And I'm saying, as their system is designed right now, for someone like me, I will not be playing in paper tournaments that I would otherwise likely make time to play in because of their system. It's just like their PPTQ system was bad because it locked you out of playing in more PPTQ systems, more PPTQs for the season, which discouraged people from playing more Magic. Thanks, Cordium. I appreciate the 7 months. Welcome back. Am I more pink today? The colors actually come in better since I've washed my hair a couple of times. But you should want that, Gabriel Paints. You should want your people who are playing online to go to Grand Prix. You should want to encourage your people who play a ton of Magic on digital to go play a ton of Magic in paper too. All of your systems should integrate with each other and encourage people to do more of it. Nah, I only really focus on formats that have kind of more competitive outlets, not so wicked. Yeah, like, it's good for my local game store if I can, like, get Planeswalker points at Arena and then, like, go play a PTQ at their tournament, at their thing, right? Like, that's good for them. Stop it, gaming. Stop it. That's just lazy. Saying some people will abuse this system so we can't have this thing be good for everyone is nonsense. Little bad people abuse everything, so you don't just not have nice things because people suck. That's just bad logic. Do I pact for Azusa here? I think I packed for Azusa here. The Magic the Gathering overlay does not work with Magic Online. It is only Magic Arena. It's one of the many reasons why Magic Online is tough to watch. So it's important to play this before the Khalni Garden, so that way they can't kill my Azusa in response to these triggers. Yeah, could be said about people registering someone else's DCI, right? Like, if you're not a known individual, like myself, anyone could use anybody else's DCI at a store they haven't seen before. The cards do have text boxes on Magic Online. But I don't think that's true, Anatraxon, because there's a finite... Oh, I'm dead to Ghost Quarter. I'm dead to Ghost Quarter. So I'm dead to Ghost Quarter because Summoner's Pact needs me to pay 4 green mana next turn. Alright, I'm going to play the last one. But, yep. I think it's right to Azusa there. I don't know. Like, they can't restore balance me the next turn. I guess if they have Spirit Guide, they could restore balance me the next turn. Spirit Guide, Blood Moon is also bad. I don't know. Spirit Guide, Blood Moon is always bad. Alright, we're 0-4. Sometimes modern happens. We got raced. I conceded to an Ensnaring Bridge deck. What else happened? I forget what happened in the first match. Yeah, you missed an announcement. There was an announcement yesterday morning. Go to dailymtg.com. Burn. No, that was the second match. The burn deck was the second match. Yeah, this is the cumulative variance catching back up with us from yesterday, right? In before 05. And hey, look at it this way, chat. And this is for people that are here for Arena that wonder why Magic Online went the way of the dodo. In addition to Magic Online costing a bunch of money, if I win this last match and go 1-4 in this league, it still cost me $6 to play this league this morning. If I lose this match, it cost me $7 to play this league this morning. US dollars, yep. Actual factual dollar bills. That's fantastic. Sign me up. Fun fact, MTGO is the first video game with loot boxes. Yep. Yeah, Magic... Wait, did I bottom that? What happened? I don't know, it's still their turn. I was like, oh, I thought I topped that. I think a lot of Magic Online being able to do what it does is security through obscurity. There's no doubt in my mind that this application probably would not be allowed if it was more popular. And honestly, I think that's a big part of why the economy's so different in Magic Arena, is because if Magic Arena is going to reach a lot of people, they need it legally to be different. Also, I'm sure saying things like that is a big part of why I'm a liability to work with. pointing out legal stuff like that. All right, well, the Through the Breach is live. So the people who are talking about people who talk about treasure chests. If I got 2 quip subscriptions with just 1 linked Twitch account, would I get twice the bumping power? I think you'd have to do 2 different Twitch accounts the way it counts at Tofu. I can check for you, but I'm not sure if I get multiple credit for multiple sales in the same account. So Artifact has a similar pay-to-play system, but Artifact can't have a secondary market to cash out of the way their system's set up. So Artifact's system isn't exactly the same as Magic Online because Artifact doesn't have direct peer-to-peer trading. So it is different than Magic Online a little bit. Deadhead Michael, thank you for the 7-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, you know, I probably shouldn't have played this because if they play a Liliana in the Veil and plus it, I probably would want to discard that. Hey, thanks for the biddy, Scissor. I appreciate it. And for the record, I really like the arena economy. I think it's great and I prefer it to Magic Online. But Magic Online is basically functionally online gambling. Sorry, I didn't comment on treasure chests. People who are like diehard Motoers always complain about treasure chests, which I don't understand why they complain about treasure chests. Because like before treasure chests existed, the packs were like less than $2 a pack. The economy was suffering so much, so seems silly to complain about something that did fix things. Getting back, thanks for the Twitch Prime support, I appreciate it. Economy was part of the reason Hex failed. But I think a big part of Hex's failure was definitely related to, a big part of why Hex failed was definitely related to their Kickstarter nonsense and their PvE stuff. Hex failed as a competitive game because they got tied up in Kickstarter promises and then WotC lawsuits. Hex will, like, always be incredibly sad because, like, they had a well-designed game and then just, like, everything else just, like, went to crap around it. Alright, so Azusa, Engineered Explosives seem fine here. Hey, PCV, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Kaysen, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Yeah, Hex was like the opposite of Artifact. They had a good game, but their software economy was medium, and their backing company didn't have infinite dollars. I think I cut Explore here. Or do I cut Through the Breach? I probably don't need as many copies of these cards in this matchup. Yeah, that's probably more reasonable. Do I still play Elves? All the decks I play on stream are viewer-submitted deck lists, so you can find all that in my deck queue here. Yeah, I agree. Artifact has a really bad viewing experience. One of the many reasons that game failed. There are a lot of reasons why Artifact ended up failing, but being a bad viewing experience was one of them. Is Artifact still going to do their big tournament? That's a good question. We don't know. They've been radio silent. Hey, Greystar, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I guess I leave the Gruul Turf in play since I have Vesuva here. of these are particularly useful. Full set of artifact cards, like less than 70 bucks at the moment. It's real cheap because nobody wants them. I actually have a full set of artifact cards. I rounded it out just in case they decide to do their tournament. Might try and qualify for it. And when everything started tanking, I was like, yeah, I should just buy a bunch of cards just in case no one decides to care. In case they stick to their word and like do the tournament. 100 card hero with the $20 tip. Thank you for that. Slimefoot, please. Thank you for the support. What am I doing here? A whole lot of nothing? Got a whole lot of nothing going on. Do 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 do. $72. That actually came back up. I think the Mystical Teachings deck in Modern is probably just too slow and clunky on average. I think it's probably a deck where if you're a good player and you really like playing things like that, you're probably going to win an okay number of matches. But as far as raw power level goes, it's probably much worse than good Modern decks. Thanks, Dumbledore. The nice thing about Ancient Stirrings is it can find Emrakul. He says as he swings and he misses. How much does a TCG being on mobile help or hurt the game? Well, being on mobile can only help it, but games like Artifact and Magic don't really translate well to mobile. There's just too much going on in them to like put them on a small screen. So, I put this Engineered Explosives on 2 here, but I'm not blowing it up right away because leaving it out on 2 discourages my opponent from playing out more 2-drops, which means they have less pressure in play, which is ideal for me. So, Primeval Titan's always a great draw. We're going to get Khalni Garden. In case they have another Liliana. And then I'm going to go ahead and get Simic Growth Chamber here. So that way I can bounce a Forest and replay it. So that way my Engineered Explosives for 2 is still up. They're not dead to Breaching Titan, Burgle. This is not like Valakut. Nowhere near dead to Breaching Titan. Rude. It was really funny. I was listening to a podcast or something. I forget exactly where I was listening it to, but it was a game designer talking, and they were like, a lot of us were secretly glad that Artifact failed, because if Artifact was successful with the model that it put forward, it meant that a lot of people who do game design are very bad at their jobs. Because Artifact went against the grain of a lot of... Oh, was it Kibler? Yeah, I think you're right. It was Kibler. And, like, Artifact went against the grain of, like, what everybody thought you're supposed to do with game design. So, like, the fact that it failed meant that people who do game design probably know what they're talking about. What do I think of Eternal? Eternal is like Fisher-Price Magic. It's like someone asked themselves the question, how do we take Magic and make it faster and play on a cell phone? So, like, if you want cell phone Magic, it's fine. Oh, we have an Eternal command. Look at that. No, if you haven't played Eternal before, Eternal's definitely much closer to cell phone Magic than... Much closer to cell phone Magic than Eternal. Does the beard stay pink as long as the hair does? The beard will stay colors as long as the hair stays colors. Yeah, I agree. Hearthstone has very unique gameplay compared to Magic. Alright, is this just an Azusa turn? I think we got in trouble last time we did this, but I think this is a Pact for Azusa turn. So I can't actually cast a Titan this turn, Burgle. Because Azusa only gives me 2 extra land drops. So I can't put a Titan. I'm going to this is putting Titan into play 2 turns from now. I guess I'm dead to Fulminator. Kill me. The problem with this is they get 2 combat steps here, which might be enough for them to kill me. Yeah, we actually played Sphinx of Foresight in the last Narset Cannon build. It was really sweet. They have Fulminator? Like, why would you push my Azusa? I'm dead to Fulminator Mage. Man, it's been a while since we owe 5 to League. Well, there's $7 we'll never get back. I don't really have any feedback to push you over the edge. Modern is as modern does, and honestly, this build, I would like to prefix what I'm about to say with this build of Amulet Titan is cheeky and almost certainly worse than the non-breach version of Amulet Titan. That being said, I think this archetype in general, even though it does put up a lot of results, it's not super fast. So, like, this is a deck that tends to be good against things like green-black. I know we just lost to it, but it does tend to be good against things like green-black and Jeskai and blue-white. But as far as racing other linear decks go, this deck generally isn't very good at doing that. So, I don't know. I feel like this was deck that I was really close to like having one that I'd play in Modern, but now that Vanasphere Court exists, if I want to play just a kind of mopey toolbox deck, I think I definitely would rather play Vanasphere because the lines are sweeter. All right, let's move along to Arena, shall we? Video games for the rest of the day, chat. Video games sound good. Gotta put my headphones on for the video games. As a heads up, because the Mythic Championship is tomorrow, I am not playing any Standard tomorrow. This is my last day of Standard this week. I guess that's not strictly true. I might stream Saturday night after the Mythic Championship. We had a $20 donation to cut Slimefoot to the front before we started this, so let's do that. I'm okay with that. The Slimefoot deck looks sweet.